So what's going on, guys? Coming at you once again with Don't Be April's Fool with your finances. Don't be April's fool with your finances. So I've been getting a lot of good feedback. People have been reaching out on the website. People have been reaching out through emails. The video's been getting out there. People have been watching. So don't be April's fool with your finances. Somebody asked me about, well, how do you determine, if I get a life insurance policy, how do I determine like how much I should get? And what I want to say to you guys is this: if you get a insurance policy through my wife, through myself, through anybody that works with us, or through anybody else, that's fine. Just get you something. But go through these videos that I've been doing. Make sure that you're getting, the correct thing for you, for your circumstances that suits you, right? Because insurance is not a one-stop, shop for everybody. One size doesn't fit all. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that whatever you're getting is the right thing for you. So I'm gonna show you guys, and this is, not the in-depth version that myself and my wife have, but this is just how to calculate, what your insurable need is for yourself. And people say, well, what do I get for my kids? If I have a kid, one of the other things that I strongly recommend, if you have a child, try to get insurance on their child as soon as possible, right? Because the younger they are, that's the most healthy that they're ever going to be. Knock on wood that nobody's child comes out and has any kind of medical conditions, but we know that's not the world we live in. So even with that, there's companies out there that will insure your kids. We just have to find them, but for kids, get insurance on them as soon as possible. So that being said, I'm gonna show you guys how to calculate your insurable need. Okay. So let me step away for a little bit so you can see the screen. So we're gonna go first with income replacement. So we got your insurable need and we got income replacement. All right. So with the income replacement, what you want to do is do 7 to 10 times your income. All right, 7 to 10 times your income. So if your income is $100,000 a year, 7 to 10 times it. So it would be 700,000, or it'd be $1 million, right? Mortgage or your rent. So mortgage, we're going to do whatever the remaining mortgage is, however many years that is, and multiply by, how much you're paying, right, every month. So calculate that. If you're doing $2,000 a month or whatever, 2,000 times 12 times however many years your mortgage is left on your mortgage. But if you're doing rent, do however much your rent is every month, times that by 12 for the year, and then multiply that by 5. And that's how you come up with that number. Your outstanding debt. So credit cards, loans, anything like that, that's outstanding. Roll all that into one, and that's your outstanding debt. Then you got your funeral costs. So what kind of funeral do you want to have? Do you want to have a burial? Do you want to have a cremation? I just heard people say, nah, just put me outside in the back, dig a hole in the backyard. You can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. I ain't gonna say you can't, you're not supposed to do that. But you have to think about what kind of services that you want to have, right? A simple cremation, anywhere from 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. I've seen some as high as 15,000, some has 20,000, depending on what the person wants to have. So this might be a conversation where you want to call them around to different funeral homes just to gauge a price. That might be something that you want to do. So you can come up with that price, okay? Or that cost to you. Your kids' education. So your kids' education, you want to think about, okay, so how many kids do you have? How old are they? Like, say you got a 10-year-old, right? But you might be educating them at home. So kids' education doesn't come into play, right? But what if you have a kid that's going to a private school, not public school? So now you have to calculate up until, they get out of high school, if they're going to a private school or private high school or what have you. So that all comes into play depending on education. Where the kid is going, are they going to college, right? So if they're going to college, You got 1 kid, 2 kids. Let's see about the colleges in the area. Where do you think they might want to go? Multiply that by 4 for each kid, and you come up with the college costs, right? So kids' education is a couple of different factors depending on the age. If they're homeschooled, depending on if they go to public school. But you guys understand how to do the math to figure out how to calculate the kids' education. Emergency funds. So emergency funds are going to be take your income for the year. And most people say at least have 3 months, at least have 6 months, something like that of emergency funds put away. So if you making 100,000 for the year, have 25,000 put away, have 50,000 put away. What makes you comfortable. It's not a right or wrong answer. People out there, and you'll know, hey, okay, so I need this much to have put away in case I lose my job or get laid off or what have you. So think of a couple of months up to 6 months. You make the call on that. So then you add up all those 1 through 6, and that's your total for coming with the income replacement, mortgage, debt, outstanding debt, funeral costs, education, and emergency funds. That's your total. Then you're gonna come up with your assets. Okay, you're gonna come up with your assets. So any cash that you have on hand, your checking account, savings account, CDs, any life insurance policies that you have, retirement accounts or investments, right? Come up with that number, and then you're going to subtract 7 from 8. And then that's where you're going to get your total. That's where you get your total. Come up with all of these, get the total for that, come up with your assets, get the total from that, subtract them, and that's where you know what your insurable need truly is going to be. So you guys got any questions, you can contact us at legendarylegacygroup.com, legendarylegacygroup.com, or legendarylegacygroup@gmail.com. Contact us, share this post, like it, share it, do all the stuff that you do on social media. Greatly appreciate it. Like I'm telling you guys, have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, great rest of your month, great rest of your year, and have a great rest of your life because you deserve it. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.